Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Rosie1990X, and I play Dead by Daylight. Why? So you don't have to. Ladies and gentlemen, it truly is a special day today. It's truly special. It truly is special, bruh. This shit brought me to fucking tears, bruh. What a wonderful fucking update, dude. It's like, here, oh, Rosie, you're so negative, man. All you do is bitch about Dead by Daylight. Oh, you hate this game so much, dude. All you do is bitch and moan and complain. You'll never be satisfied with what they do, Rosie. That should just ignore you, man. You're just never gonna be satisfied with whatever they fucking do. Ladies and gentlemen, the mid-chapter patch came out today. The patch notes are here. And what's this? Is this the fucking bomb? I don't know, lads. I don't know if this is the bomb or not. We haven't seen it yet. I would like to see that dead hard change in execution, but holy fucking shit, dude. If this is any indication what direction we're taking this game, MMR and top percent balancing are here, and they're kicking this meta into keister. Holy fucking shit, bro. Just fucking excellent. What an excellent set of changes we have to go through today. This is great. This is absolutely great. For everything from the presentation, it really must burn these people on the ass. Look at P-Nitus, dude. P-Nitus wrote this. The same guy who wrote the old ones under rank-based matchmaking. Do you think it burns his ass to have to write this? I mean, probably not. But, like, I like to think it does. Or Almo, even just a little bit. If it stings their asshole just a little bit, that's all I care about, dude. Patrick, thank you. I know you, Patrick, you probably don't watch this shit, but you are my tribal chief. Thank you so fucking much. I don't know, like, how you got to where you are now. I don't know whose ass you had to kiss to fucking get to where you are now, but holy shit. We thank you, sir. We salute you in everything that you're doing. Holy fuck. I never thought I would read this. I truly never thought I would read anything like this. Rank-based matchmaking was a pile of vomit that was never going to get this. It was never going to get this. This is truly the beginning of a new era. MMR is ushering a new era of Dead by Daylight, ladies and gentlemen. You best believe it. You best believe it. This is the patch where your ass should get back on the game. If you don't fucking... If I've been playing this game so you don't have to for like 2 fucking years now, this is the patch where you might want to download it again. This is the patch where you might want to give it another shot. We're not fully there yet, and we're going to be in an awkward transition period for a little bit as we try to balance this game. But holy fucking shit. The devs have earned a second chance here. This is truly incredible. All right, it's 11:31. I got work in the morning, so I should probably get going here. So let's go ahead and get started. During our 6th anniversary broadcast, we announced a new progression system and a meta-shifting perk overhaul, and we're thrilled to say that both initiatives will be headlined the upcoming mid-chapter, as we predicted they would. From the onset, it was important to us to release these changes as a package. Our objective is to shake up the current meta, provide alternatives, and to make perks easier to earn. Careful to consider the reasons why the meta exists and address any base game issues that have been concealing. That it may have been concealing. In this post, we'll be detailing the upcoming changes that will be available for testing in the PTB next week. So we'll start with the progression system. Collecting the perks has been an important goal, blah, 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 blah. The number of perks to address this, we're completely overhauling the way perks are earned, adding new rewards. And the current system, you must reach level 40 on a given character to unlock all their teachable perks and find those perks in the bloodlines of every other character. To unlock all the new perks on every character, by the time you need an average of 4.1 hours every day. Holy shit. With this new system, that estimate decreases to an average of 1.1 hours each day. Okay. That's not even factoring in blood point bonuses from events, blah, 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 blah. Cutting it, they cut the grind down 75%. That is incredible work. Fantastic job. Unlocking perks. The teachable rarity is no more. Now perks are tied directly to prestige. Prestiging the character for the first time will instantly unlock the tier 1 versions of their unique perks for all survivors and killers, making them immediately available for use without ever opening the blood web. Prestiging a character for the second or third time will unlock the tier 2 or 3 version of their unique perks. Alternatively, higher tier versions of their perks will appear randomly in the Bloodbuds once the first tier has been unlocked. Say you prestige Trapper, blah, blah, blah. So basically, you don't have to even get the character to prestige 3 to unlock the perks. Like, they just appear in the Blood Web still. So that's good. So, once this goes in the mid-chapter, people like me will instantly have every perk on every character. Wonderful. Very good. Very good. And then we can obviously prestige further, and then once the new character drops in, they'll just have every fucking perk in the game. Wonderful. That is just fucking excellent. That's excellent. That is absolutely great. Wonderful. Wonderful change. No more resets. Prestiging has always been a dilemma. Do you give up everything for bragging rights, or do you keep... No, you would always just keep what you have to minimize the grind. Now that prestiging is the main way to unlock perks, we wanted to make that choice clear. Prestiging a character will no longer remove their perks, items, add-ons, or offerings. Perk slots will also remain unlocked after prestiging. Wonderful. Now there's no reason not to prestige. Characters no longer optional, blah, blah, blah. Great. And then they prestige limit to 100, but then they give you rewards. Who cares? That's not really that important. The important thing is that they cut the grind down 75%. That's the important thing here. They cut the grind down 75%, and now you can get better access to every single perk in the game. Great. So whenever there's a new meta shift, you'll basically have that meta shift all ready to go. Brilliant. Absolutely wonderful. Good job. Shrine of Secrets. Who cares? I don't even care about that. Transitioning to the new system, blah, blah, blah. Updated system in action. Those who reach Prestige 3 will ever achieve a special. I don't care. Who cares about that? Who cares about that? Matchmaking incentives. Matchmaking has been a major part, blah, blah, blah. 4-to-1 ratio deviates too far. Matchmaking time started to degrade. So how are we going to improve this? We're bulldozing through this stuff. We want to get to the perks. Basically, whenever the number of killers to survivors differs too much from the ideal ratio, we'll offer blood point bonus to anyone who opts to play the needed role, 25 to 100% depending on the demand levels. These bonuses will be shown on the main menu beside each role's play button. Get ready to see plus 25 to 50% on killer, an awful lot. Let me just say that right now. But they're going to throw it on survivor every now and again too, because just to be fair, don't get me wrong. Ideally, in terms of their actual player base, it will be on killer all the time and never on survivor. But if it was never on survivor, survivors would bitch. So it will definitely be on the survivor sometime, particularly at night would be my guess, when it does feel like queues are a bit longer for survivor. So we'll see what that does there. Matchmaking centers are unique to you and depend on matchmaking ratings in your region, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So this is intended. Bonuses are dependent on which roles are needed to improve matchmaking at the time. Probably it might even be, it's dependent on your MMR. So, interesting. Interesting. Playing in a group can also net you a bonus if the survivors are needed at the time. However, this will only apply for groups, average matchmaking, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Alright, heads up. Matchmaking centers will be disabled if crossplay is turned off. Okay, so you should turn crossplay on. That's what I guess. Here we go. Gameplay updates. This is where we really wanted to be. So that was all quality of life stuff we don't actually care about because it's not in the game. But, don't get me wrong. We care about it. It's still decent stuff. But this is where we really start to get going here. Gameplay updates. Some of the most consistent feedback we receive centers around the perk meta. A handful of perks have been dominant in usage rate, especially in higher skill matches. High MMR! Motherfuckers. MMR is what this game has needed the entire time. This is what we said. The stats will be better. The balancing will be better. Here it is, guys. They're balancing around the top 5%, and they're balancing around the high MMR matches. I don't understand how this was so hard to accept for the past 3 years of my life. I don't understand why I had to fucking fight with everybody on this, from Jay Allo's podcast all the way to fucking Scott Junn himself. I don't understand why this was so fucking hard to accept. It's here now, and look at it. We're already reaping the benefits. Naturally, the gameplay feels stale, and you see the same perks again and again. In the past, we've addressed individual perks through various updates, but the odd meta is not enough to shake things up. The odd meta change is not enough to shake things up. Yes, we would have to bitch one perk out at a time. From Medal of Man to DS change number 1, DS change number 2. We'd have to bitch one of these perks out at a time. I feel like even the survivors had to do that. Whenever there was a perk they didn't like, I feel like they would have to bitch one out at a time. We are reworking and rebalancing 39 perks, meta included. We aim to reduce the reliance on the current meta while providing many new options to experiment with. Before we can make meaningful changes to the meta, we need to look at why these perks are so heavily used in the first place. While some perks are popular because of their strength, others are popular because they reduce the likelihood of an unfun situation. Therefore, we prepared a few baseline changes to address some of these core gameplay issues. Generator speeds. Oh! Generator speeds? When looking at the perks most used by killers, there's a very clear trend. Any perk that helps prevent generators from being powered. Slowdown perks are favored. Corrupt, Pop, Scourge Hook Pain Resistance, and Hex Ruin. Many players feel like generators are powered too quickly without these perks, so we knew we needed to look at generators before making any perk changes. Slowdown perks should be an option, but not only option if you want to stay competitive. First, we have increased the time it takes to power a generator to 90, up from 80. 3 fucking years. 3 fucking years. I had to sit here and hear how we can't increase base jet speeds, Rosie. We can't increase the amount of time it takes for survivors to be on a generator. That's not fun. I had to sit here and hear that for 3 fucking years. 3 years. This community lied to you. For 3 years, they lied to you and said, we can't increase the amount of time survivors are on a gen because that's not fair, that's not fun, that's boring. You were told that for 3 fucking years. And you were lied to. The whole fucking time you were lied to when they said that. Scott Jund lied to you. Otofu lied to you. Otstarva lied to you. They all fucking lied to you. This change should have happened 3 fucking years ago. Increase the generator repair time. Fuck off with that fucking noise. Should have been done 3 fucking years ago. 3 years ago. This should have happened 3 years ago. Fuck that. It should have happened 4, even 5 years ago. A simple 10-second change should have been done fucking 5 years ago. Absolutely insane. The time it takes to complete a generator hasn't been changed in a long time, but it's clear that the way are being powered quicker than we like. By slowing them down, we hope to give killers a bigger window to interrupt survivors, particularly at the beginning of the trial. Oh, really? No shit! Second, kicking a generator will now instantly remove 2.5% of the maximum progress. This change makes kicking gens more meaningful, even if survivor stops it from regressing shortly after. Additionally, survivors must now decide whether they should tap a gen to prevent regression, which allows the killer to kick it again and knock off even more progress. 2.5 is a little underwhelming. I wish that said 5. But it's something, I'll fucking take it. It's not nothing. But you should be looking at the 10 extra seconds is definitely what helps here. But 2.5, at least we're getting something, bruh. This change, we already read that. With these 2 changes, we hope to reduce the reliance on passive slowdown mechanics and promote increased interaction between killers and survivors. I wish they would up that to 5. I really do. I really wish, if they up that to 5, I feel like we'd be in a decent little spot here. But, again, at least it's not nothing. Fourth, I'm just on this whole point that you were lied to for 3 years. This community pushed a narrative that I even bought. That I even tapped out and said, you know what, fine, we shouldn't do that. That's how powerful this narrative was. People like me were even tapping out and saying, sure, we don't have to do that. Well, you know what? Fuck you. I'm here to say fuck you, and I'm here to say fuck everyone that made me tap out to that notion. This change is great. This change is wonderful. I hope you enjoy your 10 extra seconds on the gen, you motherfucker. I hope you enjoy every single solitary second of it, and I hope you think about everything that you've ever done in your life that you fucking hated while you're sitting there with that 10 extra seconds on the generator, motherfucker. I hope you think about it. I hope you think about your divorce, your mom and dad's divorce while you're sitting on that gen for 10 extra seconds. I hope you think about the time you fucking had a car crash while you were sitting on that gen for 10 extra seconds. I hope your life flashes before your eyes when I show up as the killer to fucking get you off that gen with 10 extra seconds left. You piece of shit. Deservingly so. 90 seconds is your new gen time. Fuck you. You absolutely deserve it, you pieces of shit. Unbelievable. Unbelievable that it took fucking 6 years to fucking get that change. It took them 6 years to up gen times 10 seconds. Holy fucking shit, dude. Holy fuck. I don't even know what the original times were, so fuck it. I'll just say what it has been. It's been like, it took them like 4 years to up that. Holy shit, bruh. It took MMR to come teach these people that maybe you should up the fucking gen times 10 seconds. Yeah, maybe, motherfucker. Maybe you should increase the amount of time it takes them to do a generator. Maybe you fucking should. Maybe that part about it's not fun doesn't fucking matter. It's not fair. It's bullshit. The Gen Rush meta is crap. Bullshit. Enjoy your 10 extra seconds, motherfucker. Loving it. General killer improvements. Average kill rates is a little lower than we like. Oh! No, really! No, really! Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to ask you once again, would the kill rates have ever been lower than they would like under rank-based matchmaking? Would the high MMR kill rates ever be lower than they would like under rank-based matchmaking? How many fucking times do I have to fucking say this to people before they start getting the fucking point? Kill rates are lower than they'd like because the game is awful. And it's been an unbalanced disaster since 2016 when it dropped. Awful. Just awful. Jesus. Sentiment to ensure the killer feels like an unstoppable force to be feared, we're making slight improvements to many aspects of killer gameplay. Thank fucking God! The role is awful. We've reduced the time that it takes to break walls and pallets by 10%, now 2.34 from 2.6. The first time that's been touched since, 2016? Generators can now also be kicked 10% faster, was 2, now it's 1.8. While these may seem small, a fraction of the difference can be hitting a survivor and then reaching a pallet. Yeah. So guess what? When you slap on the perk Brutal Strength, that number goes up even more. I believe we did it. We did some math today. It's like 1.8 seconds to kick a pallet if you slap on Brutal Strength now. 1.9, something like that. It saves you like 0.7 seconds if you slap Brutal Strength on. The perk Brutal Strength is about to come back, especially on characters like fucking Samara, Michael Myers, Freddy, people that really need to get those fucking pallets out of the way. These characters that really need to delete the pallets, a Ghostface that need to get rid of those pallets, they're coming back. People that a baseline killer will be using Brutal Strength again. I guarantee it. Or at least it's going to be better. It might not be meta, but like it's going to get experimented with, especially Fire Up. Like you laugh all you want, motherfucker. You pop 2 gens. You pop 3 or 4 gens, Fire Up Brutal Strength kicks the pallet like 40% faster, 45% faster. You don't think a Samara's gonna like that? You don't think a Myers is gonna like that? You don't think a Clown is gonna like that? Clown can use it now, ask Lars. Ask Lars. Especially with these base slowdown changes. You don't think a Brutal Strength has a place in this new meta? You don't think an Enduring has a place in this new meta? You don't think a Spirit Fury has a place in this new meta? Oh, motherfucker, you better get tested. A lot of perks could see have new applications. Because survivors are weaker in chase, you might see Infectious Fright come back. Dark Devotion could see play. There are so many things that could see play now. Simply because of these changes and then the nerfs for the survivors, which we'll get to. This is wonderful. This is like an oasis of change, bruh. Next, we've reduced the cooldown for successful basic attacks by 10%, 2.7 down from 3. Ladies and gentlemen, you're getting 2 stacks of Save the Best for Last for free as soon as you walk in the game. And then 8 stacks of Save the Best for Last is going to be even better. It won't be a flat 10, but like it'll be probably like 9.3, 9.5 compared to what it is now. That's insane. That's insane. You're getting 2 free stacks to Save the Best for Last, combined with better pallet breaking speed, and they're reducing the speed boost. The Survivor's speed boost is now 1.8, was 2 seconds. Moving forward, the survivors will gain slightly less distance upon being hit. So they get less distance from being hit, you recover faster, and your pallet breaking speeds are better. Dude, this is all about creating dead zones. Breaking a pallet, as I've said, goes up in significance now. You don't think Brutal Strength has a place in the meta? I don't know, dude. Again, it might not. I might be eating my words here in 6 months, but right now I'm really optimistic about Brutal Strength. Finally, we tweak Bloodlust to increase in power quicker than it does. In most changes, Bloodlust does not activate. Though there are cases where it can be necessary, the long build-up often leaves the killer in a bad spot if they eventually get a hit. We're adjusting it to 15, 25, 35 rather than 15, 30, 45. I've heard that this change isn't really popular with many people. I don't particularly care right now. However, the next step here is the maps, okay? And Bloodlust is a mechanic that can get in the way of map changes, okay? The necessary map changes that we need to really fix the game, which is the next part of this shit, fixing the game with the map adjustments. So Bloodlust might get in the way of that. So I'm okay with this right now, but in a few months, this might need to get relooked at, and the whole mechanic should probably be gone within the next year. Hopefully, if we're doing this right. But for right now, I'm okay with it. Killers absolutely deserve this right now. 100%. We've suffered enough. As the first tier of Bloodlust has not changed, it will not be any more prevalent. And then, yeah. Though slight, these changes affect every killer with ramifications. We will be watching closely to ensure nothing gets out of hand. Okay, so there you go. So you get generators go slower every single game. You break pallets faster every single game. They go slower after a speed boost every single game. You get reduced cooldown every single game. Holy shit. Killer is going to be so much fucking faster and feel so much smoother now because you're locked in less fucking shitty animations. And then, if you run like... Dude, a Myers build could be looking like Corrupt, Overcharge... We'll get to fucking Overcharge, holy shit. Corrupt, Overcharge, Brutal Strength, save the best for last. That could be a Ghostface build right there, too. That could be a really dangerous build in the upcoming meta. Interesting. There's a lot of interesting applications you can do here. It just depends on what character you are. Holy fucking shit, dude. Camping and tunneling. On the survivor side, there is a clear preference for perks that grant a second chance. Borrowed time, decisive strike, dead hard, and perks of that nature help a survivor avoid certain death, leading to an extreme usage rate. I wish they would have talked about Unbreakable, but never mind. The benefit of these second chance perks is how that they can help prevent unfun situations, namely being camped or tunneled out of the game. No, that's not what they're being used for. Of course, DS and Borrowed Time are anti-tunneling perks, but Dead Hard is a chase perk, not an anti-tunnel perk. Not an anti-tunnel perk. In order to incentivize meaningful change in the meta, it was clear that we needed to address these controversial tactics. Second chance perks should be nice to have, not essential to enjoying. No, second chance perks should be deleted. They shouldn't be, like, optional. They should be deleted. They're garbage. Moving forward, survivors receive a 5-second endurance effect after being unhooked. This gives the unhooked survivor an opportunity to reach a nearby window or pallet, or for one survivor to get in position to offer themselves for a protection hit. Additionally, the unhooked survivor will receive a 7% haste status effect for 5 seconds. Okay, this makes them harder to catch and encourage killers to shift. Okay, so that's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be the first time I read this. The first time I read this, I was at work, so I missed that 5 seconds thing. Both effects will be canceled prematurely if the unhooked survivor performance was a conspicuous action other than being chased that would improve your chances of survival. Repairing a gen, healing yourself or others, cleansing and blessing a totem, sabotaging a hook, unhooking others, or opening a gate. With these base changes, we're hoping that survivors can switch up their perk loadouts without fear that camping and tunneling would cut their next max short. Okay, I got a big problem here. Okay? Well, it's actually not a problem, but if you're a survivor, like, if you're reading that, you don't like that. And I'll tell you why. Like, survivors are mad, right? Yeah, this is nothing. This is fucking nothing. 5 seconds of BT. Like, yeah, you'll have to, like, Borrowed Time, the buff does base boost it, but, like, that doesn't fucking matter. The killer will have to wait, what, 3 more seconds than we do right now to slug you? And then camping, how does this deal with camping behavior? It doesn't. The pitch attempt meta is still there. What is Bubba gonna do when he hooks you? You think Bubba's looking at these changes and scared? You think Bubba's scared of these changes? This doesn't nerf the camping meta, like, at all. Like, if you're a survivor, you're really hoping that the killers have enough pressure to actually, or to be incentivized to leave the hook to actually slow down the gens again. Because they can still camp you, motherfucker. They can still camp your ass. 5 seconds, this does not help you get out of a tunnel, like, at all. Especially with the nerfed perks. Now tunneling's going to be even better. Meta perk changes. Yeah, survivor, if you're a survivor reading that, you absolutely do not like what you're reading there. That is really bad for survivors. Really good for us. Finally, we fucking win the patch. But yeah, all killers got here was a slap on the wrist. A big theme of this entire patch, by the way. Killers got a slap on the wrist. For this update, Perk changes fall into one of two categories. Meta perks that have been used too often, non-meta perks that serve a similar purpose but aren't used as much. We understand that many of you have grown attached to your favorite loadouts and perks. Unfortunately, shaking up the meta inevitably leads to a few changes. Rest assured that our goal is to provide alternatives that align with your preferred playstyle, widening the scope. Not every meta perk is equal. So what were Dead by Daylight's meta perks by referencing community feedback? Killers, Barbecue Chili, Pop, Corrupt, Tinker, Noed, Scourge, Hook, Pain, Resonance, Dead Hard, BT, Decisive Strike, Iron Will, Self-Care, Spine Chill. There's a few flaws there, obviously, but look at that. It's way better. Oh, and here's the graphs again. Remember those graphs? Fucking Dead Hard at 75%. Holy shit. God damn. Killer meta perks. Barbecue Chili. Current effect. Upon hooking a survivor, you can see everybody, and then you get blood points for every survivor hook. This perk is incredibly popular, not because of it's particularly powerful, but because of the huge amount of blood points. Choosing to go into a match without it massively slows your progression. We do not want blood points to be the driving factor behind perk choices. Good. We're removing the blood point bonus. Good. While we understand that this change may seem shocking, please keep in mind that this update reduces the grind about 75%, with the matchmaking incentive for additional blood points. We believe this is a necessary step into making other aura reading perks more appealing, as blood point gain will no longer be the deciding factor. Very good. The aura is still bad. This perk will be where it needs to be now. Ruin. Massive part of Ruin's appeal is not having to stop and kick gens, as well as the ability to passively regress them from a distance. These aspects make Ruin a unique slowdown perk, and we're not looking to change them. No, that's very flawed, as you'll see right here. The reason why Ruin was so good is because it upped base regression, which was garbage. To bring Ruin in line with the other perks, we are reducing the regression to 50, 75, 100, down from 100, 150, and 200. This will reduce its power without destroying its primary appeal. No, it did destroy its primary appeal. After a survivor is killed, the Hex Room will automatically deactivate. I didn't even read that part. Look, the reason this perk is popular is because of the fact that it ups the base regression of the gen. Not because not having to stop and kick it is helpful, and it can help you track, and there's some other niche benefits. But the main appeal is the fact that your regression will actually fucking do something. Because base regression is ass right now, right? So yeah, Ruin's dead. Because now that you'll just be relying on base regression to slow down the gens again, the perk is terrible and not usable. So Ruin is completely gutted. The perk is dead. So thanks for coming, Ruin. Bye-bye. Pop. Current effect. After hooking a survivor, the next generator you kick within the time limit instantly loses 25% progress. Pop Goes the Weasel gives killers a controlled way to remove significant progress from a gen of their choosing. Given that kicking a gen now removes 2.5% of the progress by default, we decided to tone down some numbers to compensate. This perk will now remove 20% of the generator's current progress, not total. This will change Pop Goes the Weasel very effective. This will make Pop very effective for gens almost done, but weaker with those with small amounts of progress. Okay, Pop's still usable. So, Pop takes 22.5% off a gen that's about done. Okay, that's what it's about. But it doesn't do much. It works like Abnormal from Identity 5, basically, kind of, sort of. Basically, like, the more they have, the more you take, okay? Scott Jumble's a fucking retard and completely missed that when he read it, because he's a fucking idiot. But I'm not an idiot, so I'll read that for you correctly. Pop is a worse perk now. However, it's still decent. It's still decent, because when you're applying Pop to a gen that doesn't have a lot of progress on it anyway, you don't really need that. Now, granted, when it's like at 50%, you're going to feel the nerf, but like it's still an okay perk. It's still decent. It's still usable. Again, slap on the wrist. You can still stop gens with it that are almost done. Slap on the wrist. Corrupt Intervention. Here's another slap on the wrist. At the start of the match, the 3 furthest gens are blocked for 2 minutes. This perk makes the beginning of the match much more manageable, forcing survivors to extend deeper into the map before repairing a gen. We aren't looking to change this. Moving forward, this perk will deactivate once the survivor enters the dying state. We believe this change will keep Corrupt Intervention effective in helping the killer build early game pressure, but providing a limit to its power. Again, slap on the wrist. You still get the 2 minutes. I thought they were going to cut its duration down a little bit. No, you still get the 2 minutes. The only way that this perk deactivates before 2 minutes is up is if you let it. If you're fucking Legion, you don't have to ever let that timer deactivate. If you're Wraith, you don't ever have to let that deactivate. Like, if you're Wraith, you can bring Corrupt, Save the Best for Last in, and then you can instantly go around the map and start applying some Save the Best for Last stacks before you have to commit to that first chase. Maybe get a few pallets down, start shaping the map a little bit, use hit-and-run tactics to help shape the beginning of the map before you have to be more lethal. You still get 2 minutes. That's still really good. And especially since there's no other option in the early game right now, this perk's still fucking meta. It's not only still good, it's still meta. Now, yeah, we got in a bit of a spat about this perk before I started filming, about how it's not good, it's just good in comparison. Even if that's how you feel about it, it's still a fucking meta perk. You get 2 minutes at the start of the game where they can't repeal the 3 furthest gens from you, and it deactivates when you say it does. And again, when it deactivates, they're going to be long gone from those gens. Or what? Are they just going to sit around and hope you down somebody? Yeah, probably not. So it's like, they're not even going to, so like them deactivating, yeah, who cares? You're going to have a hook already. So, yeah. This perk got a little slap on the wrist. It's still really fucking good. Next, Tinkerer. 70% progress, become undetectable for a short duration. Tinkerer is a popular choice for the information, blah, blah, blah. Being able to prevent a generator from being powered is a game changer, particularly with killers with high mobility. It can become a little oppressive when paired with certain regression perks. Tinkerer will now be only activated once per gem, but with the base changes increased to 90, killers will have extra time to approach. But with the base changes increased to 90. Huh. What the hell does that mean? Oh, the generator seconds. Okay. So, Tinker only procs once per gem. It's bad. It's worse than it was before, and I'm probably going to remove it on all my loadouts, TBH. I might try it on Sadako still, see what it does. But it's worse. It is worse, but it is what it is. It's a perk you're going to sack to get the Dead Hard change, so not too been out of shape about it myself. Noed. This perk makes her a very effective comeback tool, though it falls out of favor in high-skill games. We like the way Noed encourages survivors to preemptively cleanse totems. We're not looking at that. Instead, survivors will now see the Hex totems or within 4 meters upon activation, and increases to 24 meters over the course of 30 seconds. This will keep Noed strong choice for endgame builds while encouraging survivors to find the totem and attempt that last-second save. Yeah, this perk's dead. You see survivors on Twitter, Noed's not that nerfed, bro! Noed's still really good! No, Noed's fucking dead. The only way you get value out of this perk now is if, like, you down somebody and they're dead on hook. Because if you're hooking somebody with Noed, you're probably camping. I mean, maybe if you have no way out or some shit, like you're devoting your whole build to this, then maybe you might get a little bit more value with it. But like, they can see that totem for 24 meters in 30 seconds. Yeah, they're like, especially if it's the first hook on somebody, they're easily going to have enough time to get to that totem and destroy it before you get the guy. So you basically have to force everybody out. What that means is when you have Noed, you have to force the people out that you're chasing if somebody took a body block and then take a 1 or 2K. So yeah, this perk's dead. I don't know why people think this is still really good. It was basically trash anyway at high level. Kind of, sort of trash. Yeah, this perk's dead. I don't know what the conversation here is. The perk is gone. Noed is dead. And you know what? Good. That perk needed to take a nerf anyway. Scorch Hook Pain Resonance. Upon hooking a survivor, the generator with the most progress explodes, notifying the killer, losing 9%. Oh, it's 12. It's 12%. Most recent addition to the meta, Pain Resonance allows the killer to remove with removable size chunk of the gen, and allows noise notification, blah. Jack of all trades of sorts, granting information and a regression effect. With that in mind, removing the loud noise notification, instead of exploding, the affected gem will now spark upon losing progress, and the survivors will no longer scream. This will ensure Pain Resonance remains a strong regression perk while limiting its informational aspect. Does it regress when they're on the gen still is the question now. If it doesn't, it's gonna not be too great, but that's okay. I don't think you particularly care anyway. There's still other options. It's sad that you're losing this, but you know, again, it's something you'll sack to get the other shit out of the game. Survivor meta perks. There it is, bro. Holy shit. I never thought I'd read this. I really never thought I would fucking read this. When Dead Hard. When activated, become immune to damage at a dash a short distance. Dead Hard is by far the most used survivor perk, and it's easy to see why. In the right hand, it acts as a third hell state. I've been saying that for like 2 years. Allowing a survivor to escape a situation where they would otherwise go down. There are two main ways it's used: to dodge a hit and for distance to get to a nearby pallet or window. In the latter case, there's not much the killer can do. Therefore, Dead Hard will now provide the endurance effect for 1 second when activated. If you time it right, you'll prevent the hit and gain a movement speed boost. This will remove the dead harding for distance and make it solely used to dodge hits, which killers can anticipate and bait accordingly. Now, one thing you're not reading here is they confirmed on Twitter today that this perk still has an animation. So there is no mind game here. They can't just like bait it out. Like, you will see when they have it. You will get a visual cue when they have it. Okay, reading this, I think we can all agree that my ideas were better. So, like, try not to, like, be disappointed because it wasn't one of my ideas. Because I think we can agree that some of the shit I came up with was significantly better than this. Particularly, like, the exposed one and the unhooked one. I think my ideas were way better. However, it isn't something I said that would be a dud, either. It's not something we said would be a dud. It is a replacement. Basically, they can proc a 1 second stat endurance effect that if they sponge the hit, they get, like, a free medal of man. They get a third health state. Okay? The interesting thing here is that I want to see it in action because I want to see what it looks like. Another thing they didn't clarify is if you can pull pallets and vault windows during that animation. If you can't do that, it's likely that if you can't pull down pallets or vault windows during the animation, it can't be used to, like, tight kite at the pallet, which is the thing I'm most worried about right now. Because right now, it doesn't seem like there's anything stopping you from, like, using it kind of at the pallet and maybe being able to, like, sponge a hit that way, provided you get to it, of course. Because, again, the transitional aspect of this perk seems to be totally dead, and thank God. And thank God. It's not. Now it seems to only be used for tight kiting. Like if you're at something, you know what I'm saying? It's only used for those tight kites. For transitions, it's going to be totally just waited out and you can hit it. You can hit them. Especially if, like, it stops their momentum and they can only get, like, a medium vault if they time it right at the window. Like, this seems like a big fucking nerf right now. Again, we'll see. I'm very cautious. Although we were very excited and we talked about the bomb, I do understand the reluctance to get excited because, like, it really isn't a thing you wanted to read. They're still leaning into that kind of aspect where you could potentially get robbed of a hit. So I understand some reluctance to get excited. I'm still very hyped for this, and I think if this is still too good in PTB, I really think they're going to nerf it again. I think they want this perk gone. I really do. So what's interesting, again, we haven't seen it yet, but, like, one interesting thing I think about this shit here is that this perk might be better against top tiers than the Keystones. Like, think about this. If you're blinking as Nurse and then the guy procs Dead Hard, what are you going to do, swing at him? Or maybe he baits out the second blink and then procs Dead Hard. If you swing at him, you can't hit him in that situation. And Nurse relies on the execution element of her power. So, like, Dead Hard can, like, potentially, like, bait out the Nurse's execution for 0 reward. And it could potentially do that to Spirit and Blight as well. Whereas the mid tiers, there's really no execution element to bait out. That's why, like, mid tiers and low tiers could potentially dodge it a lot easier and wait it out a lot easier than somebody like a Nurse or a Spirit or a Blight. Because those characters all have execution-based elements. So that's interesting how that little interaction might work. That being said, I'm very interested to see what the animation is going to look like, if they can turn, if they can pull pallets down. There's still a lot of unanswered questions here, but reading this on paper, the intent to remove Dead Hard for distance should make it worse at everything it does right now. It would be hard to make it fucking better. Some people are saying, no, Dead Hard's buffed. Bruh, it would be hard to buff Dead Hard. It would be extremely fucking hard to buff the perk in its current form. I'm willing to meet them halfway on whatever fucking change they come up with. So this wasn't exactly what I wanted to read, but, like, I'm still very optimistic. They hit the fucking thing. It looks like it's going to get a very reasonable tone down. It's very ass against Spirit Fury Enduring. It's ass against the Shitslinger. It's ass against Pinhead. It's ass against Huntress. It's ass against Trickster. It's ass against a lot of characters now. There are, like, even if it's still good against some characters, there are other characters that just completely eat it. Because when you're Shitslinger and you shoot them, it doesn't proc their endurance. Because you have to hit them with the basic attack, remember. So you have to reel them. And you reel them, you wait an extra second, and then hit them, they have no Dead Hard. How many bad matchups do they have? Even if it's good against some characters, how many bad matchups do they have before they take it off for something more consistent? That's the question. How many killers does it have to be bad against? It's not good against Trapper anymore. It might still be good against the Hag. But, like, it's not good against Bitch Boy. Not good against Nemi. His Nemesis can just... Not good against Demo, who might be able to bait this shit out. There's so many bad matchups this perk has now. Like, if you're running it at, like, a shack, okay, like, maybe you can use it to, like, take the window, but, like, Demo can, like, when you're reacting, when you're going to the window, and plus you're at Shack, you might be in the corner. Where the hell are you going with it? So it's like there's a lot of questions we have here. And again, it even has the downside of being a save the best for last stack. Like the Dead Hard in its current form isn't a save the best for last stack. And again, if you have control of the game already, you don't even mind. You might not even particularly mind if you have to hit them and then leave. And again, you won't like it, but you won't mind it particularly either. It depends on the game state. If this perk is significantly worse at, like, stopping the killer from getting started, which it looks to be, the situations where it's going to kill you look like they're going to be way less frequent now, then the times it does burn you will be less effective. And that's very good. This perk is gutted, bruh. The transition aspect seems dead. Like, you should be very pleased reading this. Even though it's not, like, exactly what we wanted, you should be very, very pleased reading this. Very pleased. I'm very pleased. I can't wait to see it in action. I'm so glad this perk looks like they gave it what they needed to. Fuck Dead Hard. Next, Decisive Strike. They hit DS again. One of DS's main appeals is the efficiency of preventing tunneling. In light of the upcoming base game changes, which aren't shit, we expect DS to drop in usage. For the most part, we find the perk to be healthy for the game and easily avoidable for killers who choose not to tunnel and unhook survivor. That said, at the end of the match, there's often nothing the killer can do to prevent a survivor with DS from escaping. Moving forward, DS will now deactivate once the exit gates are powered. In addition, the stun duration has been reduced from 5 to 3 seconds. We'll also be simplifying the description of the perk. DS will be canceled by conspicuous actions. So, once you power the gens, no more Decisive Strike in the game. That's really big. That's huge. And then they reduced the stun. Do you remember, Galvin, that bug was in the game? And, like, you could, like, enduring a Decisive Strike? Yeah, that's going to be base game now. DS is fucking trash. DS is fucking garbage. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, this perk sucks. This perk is really bad. Even if you get hit by DS now, it doesn't burn you for 45 seconds anymore. Especially with, like, killers being better now and no more Dead Hard. The other perks that help DS stay strong and stay relevant are no longer there. So, like, if the killer gets DS, it's not even a big deal anymore. Theoretically, at least. Yeah, this perk is dead. This perk will fall in usage significantly. I would be surprised. I would not be surprised if this gets rebuffed, if they don't improve the tunneling and camping shit further, which I think they will. But yeah, this perk is very bad. Holy shit. I can't believe I'm actually looking at a day where Decisive Strike is going to be a bad perk. But yeah, it's looking like DS will not be very good. Because now, even if it hits you, it's not even a big deal. And at the end of the game, you can tunnel somebody and get one kill. Holy shit, bro. Very good. I can't believe they chipped away at that as much as they did. Like, they really, really over-nerfed it, TBH. Not that I'm complaining, of course. BT. Much like DS, the perk gets much of its popularity by granting counterplay against the camping killer. Not really. Like, a camping killer like Bubba? What the fuck does BT do to a camping Bubba? A lot of campers can get you before you get the guy, but don't tell behavior that. Considering the lighter version of BT's effect, we've added the Survivor's base kit. We need to update the perk accordingly. So, it boosts the effect by 10 seconds and the duration of the movement speed by 10 seconds after you unhooked. These effects will be canceled, blah, 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 when you perform the conspicuous action. While the duration of BT is longer than before, we expect that having a lighter version of the base kit will cause the usage rates to drop. I don't know about that. 5 seconds ain't really much. 5 seconds ain't really much, especially that the camping and tunneling features are still garbage. Though, if you want to improve pitch a tent meta and the camping and tunneling, this was a start on the killer side. The survivor's defenses against the techniques are still really bad. So, if they're gonna put that anti-face camping thing in, that might be the next step in regards to this, because this shit right here, what they just came up with ain't it. Killers will likely be seeing a combination of patrolling and camping in this new meta, depending on who they are, what the game state is, etc., etc. Iron Will makes your Grunts of Pain silent. Skill players to mind game more effectively in many areas by silencing Grunts of Pain. We are lowering Grunts of Pain reduction to 75%. Additionally, Iron Will is no longer active when exhausted. Yeah, Iron Will's gone. So yeah, so DS is gone, and Iron Will is gone. And Dead Hard is basically gone. What are we, 3 for 4 in terms of getting rid of these meta perks? Yeah, Iron Will's dead. Its entire appeal for countering Spirit is now dead, and, like, there's no reason to use it anymore. Like, what do you get with a 75% reduced Grunts of Pain? What do you get from that? Nothing. Holy shit, you get nothing. Yeah, that's completely not worth it. Might as well just fucking get rid of Jake, bruh. Iron Will is garbage. Wonderful. Get that shit out of my game. Self-care. Unlocks the ability to heal yourself without a medkit 50%. Though self-care is a divisive reputation, we are surprised to find that its usage is it peaks in high-level matches, having a consistent, reliable way to heal. Or just, like, finish the heal. That's what self-care's best application is. On top of that, self-care increases medkit efficiency. That's still really good. To reduce its strength, self-care's heal will be reduced to 35%. The item efficiency bonus has been removed entirely. Fantastic. So, like, the final niche use of self-care with the medkits is now gone, as well as the heal speed is reduced even entirely. So, if they're actually gonna fucking heal, especially with Sloppy Butcher, gone. You basically need Circle of Healing now. Spine Chill, another perk I never thought we'd see nerfed. The perk excels at alerting survivors when a killer is approaching, and in high skill lobbies, the vault speed increases, becomes a primary draw. Yeah. There are a few aspects we would like to clean up. Spine Chill not only activates the killer has a clear line of sight of the survivor. This will remove the awkward counterplay where the killer must look away to ensure a stealthy approach. Fantastic. Next, we'll be adding a short lingering effect. This will prevent the perk from flickering when the killer looks in and out to finally make the action speed boost more consistent. And we'll be removing the vault speed bonus entirely as it does not suit the perk's nature. Brilliant. It doesn't counter the approach of a stealth killer anymore unless you have direct line of sight of them, and they deleted the fucking vault buff. Great. Bye-bye, Spine Chill. Thanks for coming. Get the fuck out. Next. Spine Chill, dead. Self-care, dead. Iron Will, dead. DS, dead. Dead Hard, possibly dead. What a fantastic job. Survivors get gutted. Killers got a slap on the wrist, as they should in the current balance. And again, in the current balance, this is all acceptable. These nerfs were not done equally. Scorch Hook still deletes 12% of the gen. No-Ed still allows the instant. Now, Tinkerer still works. Corrupt still grants 2 minutes. Pop still is decent. The only one they killed was Ruin. They kind of killed No-Ed too. But the only one they really killed was Ruin. Survivors, they potentially killed Dead Hard. They killed DS. They killed Iron Will. They killed the last aspects of self-care. And they killed Spine Chill. Brilliant. Brilliant set of changes for MMR. MMR has ushered in a completely new era. Wonderful. Get that garbage out. Make these people have to adapt. Non-meta perk changes. With so many meta perks being changed, we wanted to make sure that everyone had something to look forward to. We've updated 25 additional perks to try out, a majority of which fulfill a similar purpose to the one mentioned above. Killer perk buffs, Overcharge. Get ready for this fucking shit, guys. Along with its current effect so you don't lose anything, Overcharge will now cause a kick generator's regression speed to grow from 100 to 400%. 400%! 400% over the course of 30 seconds, bro. Somebody saw a call of Brian and said, "This is good. Let's do better." Survivors will want to stop this generator from regressing as soon as possible. I saw somebody said, does it still, say... 400% is actually just their base speed, by the way. We did that math today in the server as well. It's, when one survivor is, how fast that it goes up is how much Overcharge will take it down. And based on the way it's worded here, that doesn't stop. That was another question that was asked. First of all, if it's, not at 99, that gen's, gutted anyway. Holy shit. But, yeah, based on the way it's written here, that's permanent. That 400% is permanent. So if you can kind of keep them off the gen a little bit, and that might even be worth camping. If you're Trapper, you might want to set some traps near an overcharged gen just to fucking keep yourself near that generator so that you can get some regression out of it. Over the course of 30 seconds, well, especially in a 3-gen situation, late game, will allow you to really camp generators and really apply that attrition war. The attrition war for killers is back. We finally have a response to the Circle of Healing bullshit. You slap on Corrupt, Overcharge, Shattered Hope, you can really do an anti-stall boons. You can, really make sure you snuff out enough of those boons to make sure that they can't really stop an Overcharge late game throughout the match if you 3-gen it. Hostage Doc is back. He's going to enjoy that. Holy shit, bro. Overcharge, and the way it's written right here, Overcharge might be a meta perk, the way it's written right now. Holy fucking shit. Overcharge is fucking insane. But it's 400% of base regression. Don't you think it's time to just buff base regression instead of doing, numbers that are almost half of 1,000? I mean, maybe. Fucking maybe, bro. Why don't we just buff base regression? Holy shit. But yeah, that perk is fucking bonkers, and I can't wait to experiment with it. It's probably going to get nerfed to 300. That'll be my guess. Or maybe even 200. Probably not 200, though, because, like, that's what Call of Brine is. There'd be no reason to run it. I think if it gets nerfed, it'll be to 300. But the way it's written right now, holy shit, I'm so hyped for that shit. Eruption. Eruption released with fairly safe numbers, but upon reflection, we're comfortable with increasing them. We have up to the gen regression penalty to 10%. Good. I wish it was 12. And the duration of the incapacitated effect to 25 seconds. Not too bad. Again, especially late game. It's not going to be a meta perk or anything. But again, 25 seconds of incapacitated late game, that might really do something for you. So interesting. Knockouts. Those of you who like to leave survivors on the ground have a little more peace of mind. Knockout will cause a dying survivor to crawl 50% slower for 15 seconds and reduce their recovery by 25%. Still garbage, not going to do anything. Chlorophobia to make healing in the killer's tear radius even less appealing. Even more appealing. What? Now increase the speed of skill checks by 50% on top of its current effect. Unappealing. Okay, there it is. So yeah, that's still bad. Dark Devotion. This perk is great for confusing and sneaking up on survivors, but the basic attack requirement makes it unappealing. Dark Devotion will not activate whenever the obsession loses a health state. Not the buff I wanted. I wish it would just decrease the activate, get rid of the obsession requirement and give it a cooldown. That's the buff I want to see for this perk. Surge. Surge now allows the regress to generate by simply downing a survivor. To make it more consistent, we have removed the cooldown. Good. Still not enough. I wish they upped its number to 10. Or 12. LP. Lethal Pursuer will now extend the duration of the all aura effects by 2 seconds and on top of its other effect. Okay, but still, it's still probably just going to be Nemesis's perk. Scorchhook Gift of Pain, increasing the numbers to 16. That's still not very good. Thana. They have increased the action speed to 22%. Finally, Thana got a fucking decent buff. 22%. Plague might run that again. And then Legion could run it. This perk might be opened up on some other characters again. Thana, Dying Light, and you run Thana, Dying Light, Hex Pentimento, and Shattered Hope. Ooh boy, that might be scary. Notice how you have options now. That's interesting. Scorchhook Monstrous Shrine. Long have we waited. Monstrous Shrine has received a rework. This perk will now convert all basement hooks to Scorchhooks, and now Scorchhooks grant a 20% faster entity progression, but only if the killer is not within 24 meters. This right here, solid concept, solid idea. I like what they're doing with it. Needs work. This is not ready yet. 20% of a faster entity progression only results to 48 seconds, down from 60. And that is not even counting the time you have to spend leaving the tear radius. I wish it said like 40%. Like maybe get it down to like almost like give it down to 45 or 40 seconds. Make that perk. This is a good start. I hope they test it and realize it's not enough and up it just a little bit for 25 or 30 or something like that. Just to get it down to 45, maybe even down to like 42 or something. I think you could see something really solid here develop if they decide that they can keep working with this. Great start. Don't abandon the idea, but right now it's not very good. Survivors. Calm Spirit. In addition to Calm Spirit's current effects, you can now open chests and cleanse totems silently, albeit at a 30% reduced speed. That's fucking garbage. Why the fuck would you want to reduce the amount of speed that you bless and cleanse by 30%? Yeah, you can't. You do it silently, but who cares? It's not gonna. You don't want that 30% reduced speed. That's garbage. You get rid of that. Just get rid of that. It's not like that would break the meta if it didn't reduce the speed. Just get rid of that last part. Saboteur. Saboteurs can now identify Scourge hooks. Their auras are shown in yellow when a survivor is being carried. Use this to advantage to prevent Scourge hooks from being activated. Kind of cute. Still on the gimmicky side, but it's alright. Botany Knowledge. It increases healing speed by 50%. This is the one I hope doesn't get in the game. You could like stack this with other shit to like get pre-patch fucking Circle of Healing heal speeds. So I really hope this doesn't come to the game. Like med kits and self-cares and shit. I forget what it is. Like just circle. Maybe it's just Circle of Healing. But no, you don't. This is something you don't want to come to the game. Especially like hit and run is almost ready to go off again, and this perk would just ruin that. I hope they lower its numbers to 30, 35, 40 if you must have it. But like right now, I think that's a little much. I hope they're careful with that when they're testing it. Off the record, this one right here, lads, is interesting. Upon being unhooked, gain the endurance status effect for 80 seconds. Endurance effect is lost upon performing conspicuous action. So it's a borrowed time version of Decisive Strike. Like the endurance effect, any game progression action will cancel it prematurely, making it purely for evading the kill after being unhooked. This right here is your new decisive strike. Because think about it. If you are using decisive strike, you have to go down and you have to get picked up, which the killer doesn't have to do. If the killer wants to down you and they're purely intent on tunneling you, if you bring off the record, you don't have to like you know what I'm saying? If you bring off the record, you don't need decisive strike. You just don't need it. Also, Swifts can bring this instead of borrow time. Yeah. Swift, instead of running 4 BTs, a Survive with Friends group can run 4 off the records instead. You don't need a borrow time if you know for a 100% fact that your teammate is bringing off the record. Why the fuck would you want 15 seconds instead of 80? And this right here off the record, this is the best answer to the tunneling that the patch has given you, survivors. Right here, this perk. Every single survivor should be slapping this piece of shit on because it's really fucking good. This right here is your new meta. This is your DS replacement. This is good. You should be running it every single game. Lucky Break. This perk is great for escaping a chase, but the effect quickly runs out. We're giving survivors a way to recharge Lucky Break. Each second spent healing another survivor increases Lucky Break's duration by 1 second. This total time cannot exceed the starting duration. This perk is low-key already broken, but since nobody runs it, you can't tell yet. So I don't really like this change, but we'll see what it does. I don't like Lucky Break as a perk, but we'll see. I've always said this perk was dumb, so I really hope they know what they're doing here. Pharmacy. If you are, Pharmacy will activate whenever you're injured, guaranteeing an emergency med kit when you search a chest. This effect can happen multiple times in one trial. Good job. So Pharmacy can be used to create med kits when injured. So theoretically, if you're a survivor and you get hit, you can run around with like fucking plunderers or something and create a bunch of fucking med kits for your team. So, could be interesting, but like, I just think the other options right now are still better, so there's really no need to bring this still. Soul Survivor, oh, this is stupid. In addition to hiding your aura, you can increase your gen repair speed by 75%, your hatch speeds by acts and exit gates by 50% when you're the last survivor standing, so it's still technically bad, because you've already lost. Distortion. For those who like to stay hidden, we've added a way to regain distortion tokens, gain 1 token for every 30 seconds within the killer's tear radius. Cute. More perks should be designed like Distortion is. Very good. Lightweight. In addition to lightweight existing effects, your scratch marks will be more sporadic, making you harder to track. Your scratch marks will fade 3 seconds faster, up from 1, 2, 3. Okay. So, they last like, what, 10 seconds? So, you get 5, 4, 3, up from 1, 2, 3. That's weird wording. I think they meant 3, 4, 5 there. I think that's weird wording. So basically half the duration of what they once were. So okay, neat. Still not gonna do much, I don't think. Deja Vu. We're gonna grant a 5% repair speed to reveal gens. Who cares? I mean, really, I've always thought this perk was a bit underrated, but whatever. No One Left Behind. Beyond its current effects, No One Left Behind will grant a 7% movement speed to any survivor you unhook. Additionally, the perk activates when the gates are powered rather than opened. Okay. So that's still garbage. Dark Sense. We've changed the way Dark Sense works. When a generator is powered, Dark Sense activates. Next time the killer comes within 24 units of you, the auras will be able for 10 seconds, then it deactivates. Cute. I think that's going to be better than what it is, but it's still not very good. Tenacity. In addition to your current effects, Tenacity now reduces your grunts of pain by 75% when in the dying state. Combined with the increased crawling speed, the perk can be used much more effective at crawling away from the killer. Okay. Hope. This is interesting right here. Hope is great for those who like to make late game saves, but its limited duration can cause it to expire at inconvenient times. Since this perk is the only useful at the end of the match, we've removed the duration entirely. So that means they can use it the whole game, right? So you just get a 7% movement speed buff the entire match if you run this. I don't know about that one, bruh. Isn't there another one that like can increase that boon perk that might let you go 10%? Isn't it? I don't know. I think this perk is kind of crazy, TBH. Like, I think this is a bit... I always thought this perk was genuinely a bit underrated. But now seeing it the whole game, I'm kind of scared what applications can be done with this. It probably won't be too much. It'll probably be like a low mid-tier option, probably. But now it's probably just my own head getting the better of me. But I don't know. Keep an eye on that one. Overzealous. In its current state, cleansing a totem grants you 8%. Now it doubles if you cleanse a hex totem. Don't bring a fucking hex, everybody. You'll grant survivors 16% repair speed. As if hexes weren't already bad enough. Garbage. Next, we're going to live forever. Much like barbecue chili, this perk features a massive blood point bonus. We don't want the blood points to dictate which perks you use, so we have removed the blood point bonus from We're Gonna Live Forever. The change will release at the same time as the progression overhaul. Additionally, the perk that actions that previously granted a token will not activate the perk's secondary condition. While active, healing a survivor from the dying state now grants them endurance. So they're granted a borrowed time when you pick them up. I thought they were going to do this to borrowed time itself, but instead they did it on We're Gonna Live Forever, and you have to like build tokens for it. So this makes slugging a bit worse. We'll see what that one does. That's another one to keep an eye on. We've realized that the following changes in new meta will surely arise. We've been closely monitoring the performance of each updated perk to ensure that none fall too far out of line. Moving forward, we hope to make meta-shaking updates like this one frequent part of our plans. A more frequent part of our plans to keep gameplay feeling fresh. Ladies and gentlemen, what a wonderful patch. And MMR is to thank. Skill-based matchmaking gave you this. 100%. Everything here is great. And again, not every meta-shaking patch is going to be as killer favored as this one was. Killers got buffs here because Killer sucks. That's why we were buffed here. Survivors were nerfed because Survivors are OP. They've been OP for years. Killers were buffed because we suck. We've been this weak for years. We'll probably get more buffs in the future, and I hope we do see more meta-shaking updates. However, now that the meta is going to get changed, it needs time to settle in. Our focus now needs to turn to the goddamn maps. That is the next step. They said they want to make more meta-changing updates as a part of their more frequent plans. However, the way to do that is not entirely through perk updates every fucking time. We need to start hitting maps at a very, very, much more consistent rate. And this is the hard part, unfortunately. We've gotten them to see the light on this shit, and the devs have come a long way from where they were when I started. However, they are still really, really, really headstrong about this fucking map RNG bullshit. And this step is what would help really fix the game if we could delete map RNG and fucking get a consistent tile spawn logic every single time for every single map. That is the next fucking step. That's what this company needs to do. So it's time to start putting pressure on them to do that instead of this. Not that this wasn't good. This was a great step one. What this is not is a complete fucking turnaround. Killer's not just going to be better than Survivor when this patch drops. That's not true. However, this is a great step one, and I would go as far as to call this the bomb. The meta had a big bomb dropped on it, and a lot of the perks are now dead or weaker. Ideally, as a killer, you can now leave the hook a little bit more freely and apply more pressure and camp less, ideally. Expect a nerf to face camping in the near future to fully destroy pitch a tent meta. Expect tunneling off the record is going to be a bonkers perk now. But, like, you might be able to still deal with it if, like, the chase mechanics are still really good. But the thing about it, ladies and gentlemen, is that this is a fantastic step one. That's the thing about all of this. This is really good. This definitely is your bomb, because you're going to see a new meta emerge here, and hopefully one that is definitely better on both sides. Hopefully that the second chance bullshit is less powerful and killers will be able to actually leave to apply pressure around the map to spread the pressure out and actually save gens and use map management again. Map management has been such a neglected part of playing killer because of how good camping and tunneling are. Hopefully, with these changes, we get some chase perks in the meta, like a Brutal Strength, Spear of Fury, Enduring, Bamboozle, stuff like that can come back so we can leave, punish the no dead hard being in the game. The game's going to be balanced around 2 hits again. Ideally, that helps us leave the hook and get some spread pressure to actually manage the map and stall the gens that way instead of like just trying to kill someone as fast as possible. This is the first step at deleting what was the most toxic meta in the game's history. That's probably not even a true statement. I don't even want to... I'm going to fucking go ahead and retract that. Holy shit. This game's had some bad metas. But a meta that was growing too toxic. Let's get rid of it. Start fresh. This is a great step one. That doesn't mean we're done yet. It did... Fucking... Japan didn't just surrender after 1 bomb, did they? They took 2. If y'all... There's all the history nerds out there. Japan surrendered after 2 nukes, right? Well, we got our first one. We gotta drop another one, bruh. Hell yeah. Great progress. I'm very satisfied with this, and you should be too. Or again, if you're not satisfied with this, you're just bitching to bitch. Like, if you genuinely love this game, there is nothing you read here that is bad. Well, I mean, that's not true. But this is a very, very positive thing, and this is very good. If you at all actually care about this game, this was a very good read. All right, lads. I'm getting the hell out of here. G fucking G's. Get back on the game, bro. Now's a great time.